The barbell back squat is one of the best exercises you can do for lower body strength and size. It especially targets the glutes, your bum muscles, and the quads, the muscles at the front of your thighs. It also helps build up strength in your core and lower back. To get set up, make sure the barbell is around armpit height. You don't want it too high so that when you're trying to get the bar back on the rack after a set, that you're not going up in your tippy toes, which is really difficult with heavy weight in your back. Then put your hands about shoulder width apart on the barbell, pull yourself under and squeeze those shoulder blades together to create a shelf for the barbell on the back of your shoulder blades. Do not by any means let your upper back go loose and slack like this, because then you will not be able to brace properly, the barbell will hurt where it's sitting, and your squat will be super sloppy. So pull your shoulder blades and elbows in tight, take 3 or 4 steps back into your squat stance, which is slightly wider than shoulder width apart, with your toes pointing slightly outwards. Take a deep belly breath, sit back on your heels, push your knees over your toes. You should feel the back of your thighs touch your calves, and then shoot straight back up again, breathing out. Sometimes squeezing your bum muscles a little bit helps. If you want to check your squat technique, one of the best ways you can do that is recording it from a side view, because you can check that the middle of the barbell is staying over your midfoot the entire time. The most common mistake that I see is when the hips shoot up before anything else does. You can spot this mistake when the bar goes too far forward over my toes instead of staying over my midfoot. To fix this, focus on pushing your knees over your toes on the way up and also driving your back into the bar straight up into the ceiling. Another mistake is turning this into a barbell good morning rather than a back squat. The good morning is all about the hip hinge with minimal knee bend, but in the squat we want knee bend. So think about beginning your movement by bending the knees first before anything else to get out of that habit. Something you need to be aware of is the position of the barbell on your back. It is a back squat, not a neck squat. So it is a big no-no to put it up there on the back of your neck. Put it on the back of your shoulder blades, right in the middle. If this is a low bar back squat, you put it on the lower portion of your shoulder blades like this. And if it is a high bar back squat, you put it on the higher part of your shoulder blades. But for the most part, you keep it in the middle unless you're told otherwise. Some variations of the squat you might be asked to do is the sumo barbell back squat, where you're taking a wider stance and you're having more of a hinge at the hips to get low. Now you may not be able to get as low as your normal barbell back squat, but you are aiming for the crease of your hips to be level with your knees at the bottom. Another variation is the pause barbell back squat, where when you get to the bottom, you take a 1 count pause. This improves your coordination and control over the movement and gives you better leverage to lift more weight down the line. Another variation is the pin barbell back squat, where you set up the safety bars of the squat rack where your squat would normally end, and when you squat down, you let the barbell touch the pins and you let about 30 to 50% of your weight on the pins and shoot back up again. Don't let all of the weight go onto the pins, or else you get stuck and you won't be able to stand back up again. And don't just barely tap off it either, or otherwise you're not getting the benefit of being able to generate more force from the bottom of the squat.